As soon as you follow my Instagram, you're gonna know that I'm not The Rock. But if you zoom in on my singlet, you're sure as hell gonna see a sock. This is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Just having some fun here. Got done with a workout, walking around with the slingshot on my shoulder like it's the goddamn UFC heavyweight championship belt or the WWE championship belt. Having a great time here at this entrepreneur leadership summit that I'm at. Really great thing that's put on by Dave Ramsey. It was super cool yesterday. I had a lot of fun. Met a lot of great people. I'm learning lots of shit. The cool thing is that through experience and through growing up with a dad that made his money a bunch of different ways. My dad used to work for IBM, worked for Big Blue, worked for corporate America, bust his ass for nearly 20 years. And then when the company downsized, they dumped him on his head and he was left with us 3 kids to raise, a family, a mortgage, and so on. Iffy places that most of us have been in. I've been in iffy places myself, especially in terms of finance. And my dad was able to figure things out because my dad knew the most important thing, that everything he needed was already inside of him. He already was working a pretty high level job, or not even pretty high level. He was already working a very high level job for IBM. So I think, and I heard a story last night, a guy talked about how he was flipping houses and he was very handy. And when it came to flipping houses, he would do any and all things involving flipping the house, making the house more profitable. And then he also mentioned to me that at one point he was an auto mechanic. Now, this guy owns a handful of Dutch Bros coffee shops nowadays, and he moved into a totally different way of making money. But really, within you and within this particular incident, this guy already knew how to make money. He had value for the marketplace because he knew how to fix things. And someone who is an auto mechanic or somebody who can build is really, when you break it down, those people are people that are problem solvers. Those are people that can fix things. And so when you're able to fix things, that can be a huge attribute into business. So someone might think that an auto mechanic or somebody like that has a manual labor position. I don't look at it that way. I look at it more like that's a problem solving. You're going to be really good at problem solving if you know how to, put parts into a car and make the damn thing start and things like that. But things I'm learning here at this seminar are great. There's a lot of noise out here. I apologize. People should shut the hell up when Mark Bell's trying to film a power project over here, and when I'm trying to be the people's coach, I'm trying to teach the world how to live and how to lift, trying to make the world a better place to lift, and we got garbage trucks back here making all this noise. But as I start to think about the valuable things that I got from yesterday, a lot of it was about leadership and team building, and I wanted to share with you guys, even though I already went live today and shared how excited I am to be here, I wanted to share with you guys that these things aren't bullshit. I think sometimes, and maybe some things might not be your cup of tea. Maybe certain things may not be your favorite. Maybe you're not into like motivational speeches and stuff like that. But yesterday wasn't really about motivation. It was about how to lead and how to get people to follow. And one of the best ways to get people to follow is to earn their trust. That was talked about a lot. But also, if you don't hold people accountable, and this is an area that I could get better at, if you don't hold people accountable for their actions, that doesn't mean to punish. That doesn't necessarily mean to punish. It means hold them accountable and let's try to develop a high standard. This is stuff that Andy Frisella will talk a lot about. And the other day he put up a post about self-love, and he was like, self-love doesn't mean having a low standard for yourself. You don't hug yourself and tell yourself that you appreciate yourself when you're 50 pounds overweight. You can still love yourself and you can still be very proud of yourself. And you can say, you know what? I need to lose some weight. I'm fatter than I want to be. We don't need self-hate either. And as I always say, don't ever kick a downed opponent. So put yourself down, but do it 1 time, and then recognize what am I going to do from here? how am I gonna fix this problem? Don't you hate those little burps that you get that kind of make you like, they make you like get a double chin like that? They make your head kind of tilt back. Haven't eaten anything since like 8 p.m. last night, so I don't know. Maybe it was 9 p.m. Additionally, I wanted to talk about excuses. And I wanted to, something that has helped me, and I still use excuses, I think every day, don't let people kid you. The battle from within happens every day, all day. Other than like, I guess, well, even when you sleep, because it's in your subconscious mind. So deal with that. Stamp that into your brain. I stole that from Art Williams yesterday. Stamp that in your brain, he kept saying. Say what? Any of you that have seen him know what I'm talking about. But excuses only make sense to those people that make them up. And ultimately, that's what excuses are. Excuses are made up. They're lies. It's not even a stretch of the truth. It's not necessarily just exaggeration, but oftentimes they're lies. And you lie so much you believe yourself. So we believe in positive affirmations, but people don't talk about negative affirmations. You tell yourself you can't, well then you can't. And you tell yourself repeatedly that you can't do something, well then you're not going to be able to do it. What about even just, I think there's a lot of things that go unnoticed that are excuses that people aren't paying attention to. Somebody might say, shit man, you're working out at 4 a.m. Good for you, bro. I'm not a morning person. Well, there is some scientific research. I always say take scientific research and shove it straight up your ass. But there is some research that does say that some people are more efficient in the morning and others are more efficient at night. You take that research and do as you wish. But some of the leading sleep experts in the world and some of the leading scientists believe that to be true. But even if that is true, just because you might say that you're not a morning person, it doesn't mean that you can't start waking up a little bit earlier. And it doesn't mean that you can't figure out a way to get ahead of your day. So if you already know that you're not a morning person, well, how about we lay shit out for the morning the next day so you know what you're gonna wear? How about we plan ahead? How about we figure out ways of getting out in front of each and every day instead of fighting every day from behind? And ultimately, that's what excuses do. They are a nice, warm, comfortable blanket that allows you to get away with whatever it is that you're saying that is your excuse. I couldn't make it today because my kid was sick. Okay, so let's just back things up. Let's just say that that's actually true. You wake up in the morning, you're supposed to go to the gym, your child's throwing up. Sounds like a great decision to stay home to me, because family over everything, right? But that's still an excuse. You're not late because your kid is sick. You're late because you wanted to stay home because you thought it was more important to be there, which it may be. That it may actually be true. But still, that is something that can excuse you in that rare case when something does happen. You can be excused from something when something of more importance comes along that's actually fucking true. But if you're lying and say, I was late because of traffic. No, you're late because you didn't plan ahead. And because you're fighting every single day. It's like you want to just go in and dive all in on people and give them a speech. You're late for the same exact reason why you're a loser. You're late for the same exact reason on why you're a coward. Because cowards talk about what they'll never do. And I've heard you talk time and time again about how you're going to start to show up on time, how you're going to start to eat better, how you're going to start to make some real positive changes in your life, how you're going to lose 20 pounds and kiss it goodbye forever. And you haven't done any of those things. You haven't followed through on one single goal, but you have these big dreams. Well, keep dreaming, keep staying asleep, because you will never fucking wake up if that's the way you're going to be. The only way to have dreams come true is to be able to carry through some of your goals. Goals are more short term. I make $100,000 a year. I want to make 120. I'm an assistant manager. I want to one day be manager. Those are goals. Dreams are, I want a beach house. I want estates over houses. I want timepieces over watches. I want money over bitches. No, wait, that's something different. You're not going to be, things have to align. You guys heard me talk about this so many times. But you know it's not alignable. What's in the way of that aligning is your excuses. You need to figure out ways of getting out of your own way. And you need to figure out ways of stopping talking yourself out of doing things that you should be doing. The hard part is there's things that you should be doing. There's things that you could be doing that you're not currently doing because you don't want to do them because they're inconvenient on when you have to do them. Do the things that you normally don't want to do when you don't normally want to do them, and you will be the best. You will be the best that you can possibly be. Look at these slingshots. Supportive upper body device invented by yours truly for bench press, push-ups and dips. Handle more weight for more reps and more sets. Add more total volume to your workouts. Do more, be more. The more that you can do, the more that you can handle. These suckers are legit. Walking around San Diego like I'm fucking Conor McGregor with the 2 championship belts. I got the reactive slingshot world championship on my left shoulder. And I got the original slingshot, the red slingshot, also draped across my shoulder with even an extra belt in between here. I didn't even recognize. Had a tremendous workout today. My buddy Sean has helped me realize a lot of cool things. One thing he helped me realize is how fat and lazy he is, or how fat and lazy he was. I know he watches these things sometimes, so I'm making fun of him on purpose. Sean's a beast. Sean is a savage, and he's somebody that recently jumped in on my workouts. Got my boy Wheezy has jumped in now on our workouts. My boy Wayne, both the guys are from Dutch Brothers. Both are very hardworking people, and both of them already had it within them to take those next steps. They just need to be poked and prodded. And for a lot of you, it's the same thing. A lot of you are husbands. A lot of you are wives. A lot of you are committed girlfriends or committed boyfriends. A lot of you have children, and you do any and everything for your children, and you don't even think twice about it. What has to be done gets done every single time. But when it comes to yourself, you're like, I'm not a morning person. No carbs? I don't think I can do no carbs. That's really gonna hurt. It's gonna be really hard for me to lose 20 pounds. Well, of course it's gonna be hard for you to lose 20 pounds. You're gonna have to build up some sort of consistency, and you're gonna have to align. It all starts with your thoughts. That's where a lot of this starts. It all starts with your thoughts, and additionally to your thoughts, it starts with what you consume. If you're consuming junk, whether it be food or content, like if you're listening to this right now, you're going. Actually, you're just going straight to hell. This is a transportation system. This is a highway to hell that we're building over here. But it all starts with what you consume. You hear the thing about who you hang out with, what you consume, and your thoughts, the thoughts you have in your head. The thoughts are things that you can start to try to figure out how to turn into habits. The habits are things that can help build you towards your goals. If you have habits are like, so let's see if I can make sense of this for you. A habit is like a people mover in the airport. I'm not sure if that's what they're called. The conveyor belt thing that you stand on that moves you towards something, right? That's what your habits are like. It's like going on an automatic ride. You had to walk to it. You had to do some effort to get on it. But now you're on it, and it's moving you to where you want to go. In addition to that, when you have a habit, it's a cheat code. And the habit can advance you faster. So now you have the option, because you already ingrained that habit, you have now earned your freedom. You want to be free? You want freedom from all kinds of different things? then learn to build these habits. But you build the habits through the thought process that you start to have, and through aligning your thoughts with your goals. When your thoughts are aligned with your goals, you're now on a people mover. You're now on a people mover towards your destination. You're on a conveyor belt. You can stay to the right and enjoy the ride and relax a little bit. In our world of nutrition and fitness, that would be you take a weekend off from lifting and you eat whatever you want. That would be staying off to the right. It's actually kind of helping you towards your goal because you've done all the work you needed to do. You got yourself in the right place at the right time, and you can stay off to the right. But you're still moving towards your goals, because cheating on your diet or just like letting things go for a few days is still moving you closer to your goals, because it's going to starve off those cravings. It's going to starve off those desires. Desires can be poisonous at times. And to starve them off can be great. Like even starving off something like sex can be great. It can be a wise idea. And then when you get back to it, it's more stimulating, right? So you're on this people mover, right? And you're staying off to the right, and you're relaxing, and you're just letting this thing take you to where you want to be, because you already put in your work. You also have the option to go to the left. And to even beat the people that have already built habits, to even beat the people that already got into the right place at the right time, to even beat the people that already put in a lot of effort in their life, to even beat and get past and surpass people that you thought that you would never be able to pass up, people that you thought were untouchable, people that were way ahead of you, people that would tell you about how they made $200,000 last year, or they bought a cool boat, or they did something really cool, and you're thinking in your head quietly to yourself or loudly to yourself, you're thinking, oh my God, I'll never have that amount of money. That's something else I've learned. Never speak in absolutes was a great quote. Never speak in absolutes. I'm gonna make goddamn sure, never speak in absolutes. There we go. You should try your best not to speak in absolutes, because they're absolute lies almost every single time. Science shows us that. Physics shows us that a lot of times. Things get disproved all the time. There are some absolutes actually when it comes to like, it can get very complicated actually. So no, there's still no absolutes. But when you make these absolute assumptions about yourself, that you're not a morning person, that you can't try a low carb diet, that you can't lose weight. I hear people say it all the time, I can't lose weight. You can lose weight. You don't have the proper systems in place. You don't have your thoughts aligning with your goals. Your goals are not sinking in, and they're not turning into the things that you're doing on a daily basis to get you towards your goals. Those things are not turning into habits. And that's going to be a key factor, is that these things turn into habits, because if we only rely on willpower, then we're going to die. We're going to be dead in the water. We're not going to be able to survive. We need a combination of the habits and willpower. They need to have a synergistic effect on what you're doing every single day. And we can get on that people mover, and we can pass people up all day long. We can do the same thing. An even cooler example is same thing with the escalator, right? You can stay off to the right and not do any work and get moved upward and onward at the same time. You're not only moving forward, but you're moving upward as well. And what happens when you start to move in that direction like that? What does the past look like when you start to climb a ladder? Like, I'll step up on this thing if I can. My legs are dying. There's like this bench over here. See if I can give it a good whoop. Okay. I stepped up on here and I didn't break it, right? So now, as soon as I stepped up on here, perspective of things have gotten smaller. The things that are now in the past are no longer as daunting. The things that are history, the things that I used to do, the way that I used to be, those things are now in the past. They're behind me, right? They're behind me. And not only that, those hurdles that were there before, I jumped over them. I've moved onward. I've moved upward. And they're a lot smaller now. Anyway, I'm fired up. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are enjoying some of these messages. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save I've probably done about 15 of these now, or maybe 12. I'm gonna figure out a way to spin these off and to upload these bitches to YouTube, because I think they're valuable for you guys. It's all just stuff. The only reason why I share this kind of stuff, this is absolutely nothing to do with, well, everything always has to do with money, right? But this is not about, like, you know, me trying to start some program and things like that I'm gonna have you hop on, or this is no tricks, no frills. I'm just trying to teach, just trying to coach, just trying to be the people's coach, because I'm 42 years old. I told somebody the other day I was 41. I somehow lost a year there. I'm 42 years old. I just have a lot of life experience, and I've been lifting for 30 years. Celebrated 30 years of lifting this year. Started actually lifting when I was 11. I started lifting a little bit more serious when I was 12, and I never looked back. And I try to get some in every single day. Oh man, what a cool day. Excited for today. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.